Good day everyone, I'm John Paul Nava and I'm going to discuss to you the topic of Karl Marx theory, Friedrich Engels and William Bonger's theory. Let's first focus on Karl Marx theory. Who is Karl Marx? Karl Marx was born on May 5, 1818. He is also known as the father of Marxism. He is also a philosopher, political economist, and a journalist. He is also a close friend of Friedrich Engels. He published the Communist Manifesto in 1848. Later in life, he wrote the Das Kapital. The first volume was published in Berlin in 1867. The second volume and third volume were published posthumously in 1885 and 1894 respectively. Karl Marx died on March 4, 1883. Here are the two works of Karl Marx. First, the Communist Manifesto. The Communist Manifesto was written by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels and it is published on 1848. It formed the basis for the modern communist movement as we know it, arguing that capitalism would inevitably self-destruct to be replaced by socialism, ultimately communism. After he wrote the Communist Manifesto, he next wrote the Das Kapital, or also known as the Capital, a critique of political economy. It is the foundational theoretical text in materialist philosophy, economics, and politics. Now, let's focus on Karl Marx theory, or also known as the Marxism theory. First, what is Marxism? Marxism is the political and economic theories of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, later developed by their followers to form the basis for the theory and practice of communism. It is also a theory where a society has no classes. Every person within the society works for a common good, and class struggle is theoretically gone. What is the aim of Marxism? Its aim is to explain social phenomenon within any given society and analyzing the material conditions and economic activities required to fulfill human material needs. Now, let's move on to the next theory, which is the Friedrich Engels theory. Who is Friedrich Engels? Friedrich Engels is a German social scientist, author, and a philosopher. He is also the father of Marxist theory together with Karl Marx. He published the Communist Manifesto. His collection of work done with Karl Marx laid to the groundwork for modern communism. Engels and Marx wrote and published many articles and books together that attempted to expose the uneven distribution of wealth gained during the Industrial Revolution. Their writings see capitalism as an exploitative system that benefits the owners of land, capital, and means of production more than the workforce. Engels and Marx claimed that the surplus value created by workers in excess of wages produce significant profits for owners of capital, a central theme in Engels' contribution to modern communism. Now, let's focus on the last theory of William Bonger. Who is William Bonger? William Bonger is a preeminent Dutch criminologist. He is a Dutch scholar best known for his application of Marxism to criminology in his Criminality and Economic Conditions, first published in 1905. He is also a central figure in the establishment of criminology in the Netherlands. His sophisticated view of socio-economic causes of crime in capitalism retains in relevance to this day. In particular, his notion of egoism and demoralization. Despite the fact that Marx did not address crime in systematic way, criminologists have used Marxist theory, laws, crime, and the criminal justice system over in the past 40 years. Marxist criminology was become a core component of what has been broadly referred to as critical criminology. Many critical criminologists have contributed to the development of Marxist criminology, and its position within the field of critical criminology is well established. The insights provided by Marxist criminological theory have received little interest among mainstream criminologists, despite the fact that some share with Marxist criminologists a macro level or structural approach to studying crime. Recent development in Marxist criminological theory have slowed. Marxist criminologists are still able to provide a viable framework to understand law, crime, and state responsible to crime. And that's all about the William Bonger's theory. Here is the famous line of Karl Marx. The production of too many useful things are results of too many useless people. That's all for today. Thank you and God bless.